This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
This is going to be kind of a creepy promo, I think, with DDP. Michael Cole in the back talking to Dallas Page. Let's take a listen.
With The Undertaker's wife, Sara.
One-on-one. Me, DDP, and Sara. Now, even though last night's endeavor I wouldn't consider successful, and I am hurting like hell off that cage, it all pays off tonight. You see, Cole, Sara requested this match. Do you think she wants to hurt me? No, you idiot. She doesn't want to hurt me. She doesn't want to beat on me. She wants to be with me. She wants to feel her body up against mine. She wants to feel flesh to flesh. It's obvious that's why she requested this.
But are you concerned at all about her husband, The Undertaker? I mean, he's going to be at ringside with his wife tonight.
It doesn't concern me. The only thing that's better than me getting my hands all over Sara is getting to do it in front of her old man, because he's got to watch. Now, I know he's going to be watching his precious little gem. I know he's going to want to protect her. But sometimes you got to pay the price to fulfill the fantasy. That works for me.
Sick.
Well, that was a little weird. Oh, here's Taz.
Stone Cold Steve Austin for bringing the old Taz back. It's because of Austin's tough love that really smartened me up. Austin showed me leadership by example, and I was damn proud to be that example. Thank you, Stone Cold. Thank you for making me tougher than I already was.
Well, we're 2 for 2 on weird backstage promos. Let's see what Tajiri and William Regal are up to.
You filthy swine. Put it down. You'll go blind. What's the matter with you? What the bloody hell do you want?
You saw what happened, man. The whole world saw it. The Rock stole something from me, the WCW title, and I want a rematch tonight. Can you dig that? Tonight!
You're too late, sunshine. The Rock's already successfully defended his WCW championship against Lance Storm.
What the hell are you talking about,
In
man?
fact, your quest for the WCW championship has come up a little short.
Yo, man. I want some answers. Ever since I got here today, people been laughing and snickering. I want to know what the hell is going on right now.
You mean you don't know?
No, I don't know.
Well, The Rock came to the ring and he had this little fellow with him. He looked just like you. And
what?
He had these little bow legs. He looked like a boomerang, and he couldn't have stopped a pig running down a
You
back
think
alley.
that's funny, though?
He was dancing around, wasn't he?
Yo, man, what the hell are you laughing at? Huh? You think that's funny? You just diss the Booker Man. Booker Man don't like that. And you know what? I'm so mad right now. I'm so frustrated. I'm going to take it out on somebody. And guess what? You're going to be that somebody. Tonight, I want you in a match, sucker. Yeah. What the hell? You know what? I ain't going to even put my gear on for this. Your ass belongs to me.
So I love that promo from Booker T, but I am curious. How often in your real life do you refer to yourself in third person? Do you ever just walk in there when the wife's cooking supper and say, Kurt Angle don't like that?
No, I never did that.
Kurt Angle don't eat that.
I think The Rock made it a thing.
Well, I think if anybody could talk in third person, it would be you. Who would stop you?
You're right. I could do it if I wanted to. I just choose not to.
You know, I'm gonna have you do some commercials like that. Kurt Angle likes Chirp Wheel. Kurt Angle eats chicken snacks. It'd just be funny. Let my family save your family some cash. You don't need perfect credit. You don't need money out of your pocket, but we will save you money. It's not a matter if, it's a matter of how much. SaveWithConrad.com.
He could be a babyface. He could be a heel. He could turn on a dime and be able to do it. He's that talented.
So Undertaker trying to pump up his wife, Sara. I can't believe this is what we're about to see, but this is real. Sara and DDP are going to take each other on here. This is real. Sara is going to be one-on-one with Diamond Dallas Page on Monday Night Raw. And I'm not going to say it's the main event, but it kind of is. This is towards the end of the show, and it's DDP versus.
It could be the worst main event of all time.
Yeah. It's when you look back and people are critical and they try to say, oh, the invasion would have worked if they would have gotten Flair, or they would have gotten Nash, or they would have gotten Goldberg or Sting. And there's all these different what ifs. But then, you do get some of the big stars, and you get guys like this Diamond Dallas Page, who was one of the biggest stars WCW had. And we're going to let him wrestle Undertaker's wife. And well, here's a spoiler for you. She's going to win the match.
I completely disagree with this match. I don't think this is not something that DDP deserved. And I just think it was just horrible.
And again, look at that. Another sponsored element, Clearasil plugging Unforgiven all these years later, 20 years later, still getting some value for that ad spend. Shout out to Clearasil. But here she comes. DDP is in the ring. I can't believe this is real. Sara is going to make her way down to the ring for our Raw main event. And of course, we've still got one pretty memorable segment. We haven't seen Kurt on the show yet, but it's going to be quite the moment when it does happen. And first, here comes the Undertaker riding the motorcycle to the ring. Sara riding on the back.
I'll tell you what, as not good as this show was, they had a lot of freaking star power, didn't they?
Unbelievable star power when you really think about it. She's going to slide in the ring here. And of course, there's going to be some shenanigans before the bell rings, but still, in hindsight, do you think this was a punishment for DDP? Was he just rubbing people the wrong way?
I never heard of him rubbing people the wrong way. He was such an icon in WCW, and the career he had was unbelievable. And he got the WWE, and I think the match he had with the Undertaker, it wasn't that good. And it's hard not to have a good match with Undertaker. And I think this match was, them saying, "Hey, you couldn't have a good match with Undertaker. We're gonna punish you." And I don't have any other reason for it. It doesn't make any sense. DDP was a huge name in the business.
Yes.
Done so much. I love the guy. I just don't know why they did this.
I don't think anybody does.
Not deserve this. Yeah.
And let's say this too, though. What a good sport DDP is. I mean, over the years, guys have quit for a whole lot less. I mean, I just did an 83 weeks with Eric Bischoff, and we talked about how Public Enemy put in their notice and quit WCW because they asked those guys to put over Goldberg in a handicap match. And DDP, here he is wrestling Undertaker's wife, and he's going to lose. What a soldier DDP is to say, okay, if that's the creative, we'll do it.
He could have walked out. You're absolutely right. But he didn't. He's a trooper. He's a team player.
And I think he's going to get chokeslammed on the floor here. Let's take a listen.
With those big right hands, while Sara conveniently has the referee distracted.
So a chokeslam on the floor, no joke. That explains why it ends so quickly and why Sara gets the win and why he probably needs DDPY. So check out DDP Yoga if your back feels like you got chokeslammed on the floor. But Sara's going to go ahead and make the pin here and does it Undertaker style. Fold those arms up. 1, 2, 3. That's all she wrote.
And there's the celebration.
Was there any, obviously the Undertaker is regarded as being the godfather of wrestling, but does anybody sort of look at this situation side-eyed and say, is that really what's best for business, to have your wife beat a top guy or what could have been a top guy?
Well, it wasn't best for business. And to do that to DDP, an icon in the business, was just horrible. I have no idea why they did that. The only thing I can think of was they didn't have a good match, and You know, the Undertaker, I don't think Undertaker had anything to do with this. I think that it was just a creative standpoint that said, we're going to punish this guy for not having a good match with Undertaker. I never heard of DDP ruffling feathers in the company. So I know he's a team player, and I know that he got along with everybody. So I have absolutely no idea why this happened.
So here it is. We're finally here. The main event segment of the show. Of course, the wrestling is done with. Now it's Steve Austin Appreciation Night. The Alliance is going to march out there. Deborah's going to lead the way with a whole silver platter full of cookies. And of course, Paul Heyman and Stephanie McMahon are in tow as the leaders of the Alliance. This segment goes 23 minutes, Kurt. So this is one of the longer segments that you would have had, not just back then, but in any era, because there's no wrestling involved. When did you know for sure how this would all happen? Did you guys do a run through earlier in the day? Were you told a week prior? Sort of talk me through the creative of this segment.
I didn't know till the day of, and they approached me and told me we had to do a run through, just to bring the guys out there and make sure that everybody fit around the ring, get Stone Cold in the ring with Paul Heyman and Deborah and Stephanie. And I had to do a run through with a milk truck to make sure the truck actually fit underneath the Titantron to get into the arena and make sure that it would go all the way to the ring. And so it was a quick run through, but I was so excited to do this. This was like my moment to shine as the top star in the company. This was such a great moment for me.
Paul Heyman, of course, is trying to warm up the crowd. Were you banged up coming out of SummerSlam, or were you still feeling pretty good?
I was still feeling pretty good. I was a little banged up, but not too bad. I felt pretty good. I didn't have any problems. I think that the only reason I wasn't on the show until the very end is because they wanted to save me for the end. They wanted the biggest pop to be when I first came out. And if I would have came out earlier in the show, that would have ruined that or lessened the pop later on. So I think that's the reason why they held me off till the very end of the show.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.